All right. Hi, everyone. This is Brad Cummings from Board Game Geek. I'm here with Scott, founder of Board Game Geek. How are you doing, Scott?
Great. My name's Aldi, by the way.
Oh, all day. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. I go by both.
I know. I
It's
never
silly.
use the nickname. I got to do it. Yeah, and then we have Dave here. We're gonna play some Ascension head to head. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Awesome. And we have from Playdeck generously donated 10 codes for Agricola. I believe 10.
Wow.
Um, So if you'd like to win one of those, the way you do that is leave us a comment on Twitter, a question for us to answer, something to talk about. It doesn't have to be about Ascension. It can be about gaming in general, board gaming in general, and we'll chat about it while we play some Ascension. Uh, or I guess also maybe the Board Game Geek page. Is that cool, Haldy?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll try to track them all.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we're going to focus on the Rise of Vigil expansion, and I apologize. I have new Wi-Fi, so I've never tried this before on this Wi-Fi, so we'll have to see
It's looking pretty good.
how latent it is.
Yeah,
Okay,
nice. I think it's better than what you had before.
take that, Comcast.
Yep.
No.
Fantastic. What are you on now?
This is AT&T. This
Oh,
episode is
Uverse?
brought to you by,
Is it Uverse?
I believe it is.
Yeah, that's what I've
I
got.
actually had no choice. It was kind of a forced
I,
uh,
yeah.
by this complex that we're living in.
We still live in the world of monopolies of internet service providers. I would kind of drop Uverse if I could, because there's a product like people are getting FiOS here in Dallas, and I can't get it, and it's like so much faster.
Right, I hear Faust is really good. All right, so we're playing with the vanilla set and the Rise of Vigil expansion, which brings some new things, right? Kind of like dual use cards, I believe, is one of the big things.
Oh, cool.
So there's some that can be used, for different things or for multiple things. So Dave, I
Great.
think you're up first, adding to the complexity of your
Yeah,
year
that's
without
what I
playing
needed.
Ascension.
Good. Um, all right. I'll take her. That look good.
All right, I'm gonna go with this play all. It's a pretty good thing, right? So you killed. Wait, what did you do? You
I
took.
grabbed a librarian and a mystic. So
Okay.
what are these?
Uh,
You're gonna have to explain these shards to me. What is that? It lets you draw a
so
card, or
drawing a card, and I believe you get to do both. So you get one
oh,
energy, and you also get to draw a card.
okay.
Hmm.
It's kind of like a cycling thing. Let's see. I got four. I think I'll go with what is this behind here? Oh, I get a shard if I take that one. I see. Interesting. All right. That's a pretty cool mechanic. You get an additional card when you buy those cards.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
All right. So yeah, how
Yeah.
do you play Ascension very much?
I played it quite a bit when it first came out.
That's the same
But
boat I'm in.
I've
Yeah.
been really like my iPad has just been cold dead for like a 6 months.
Oh man.
Like we've just put our nose to the grindstone here on Board Game Geek. Like we've been doing a lot of behind the scenes database rewriting,
Oh wow.
basically
Um,
trying to strengthen us against cyber attacks and all that fun stuff that you have to worry about these days. Um, but it's not fun work.
it's
So
like the boring part, none of the cool
it's
features that people
really
get to see.
boring and it's really tedious and it's very difficult. But it's done. And so in the past month, I've been rewriting the Geek Store, which we're calling Geek Market to avoid confusion with the Board Game Geek Store, which we sell promos. So it's Geek Market now.
Right. That's
But
pretty cool.
to answer the question, no, I have not. I have not been too much iPad gaming. I think the last game I played was the one. It's a very beautiful puzzle game, like with the little tiny character that walks around the screen. You rotate. Can't remember the name of it.
Monument Valley.
Yep, Monument Valley.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I keep waiting for more levels for that one, but they say they're working on them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited about the geek market. That sounds like a really cool idea. I mean, I know it's been running, but like
it's,
the new interface would be cool.
It was completely rewritten from scratch. Basically, I took the code from 11 years ago and trashed it.
Oh gosh! Wow.
And just rewrote it all. Yeah, it's pretty nice though. I like it. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out, and I got to use like all the modern technologies that I like. AngularJS, and it's using the Bootstrap framework, which is pretty nice. And then underneath is all our own framework, so kind of neat. But we're gonna launch it tonight.
I'm losing you a bit.
So after I get off the line with you guys, we'll be working all night.
Oh boy.
Wow. Yeah, when you say that you work all night, you are not lying.
Right, like I think I've had conversations with you at like 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yep.
Where you're like, hey, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm just going to bed.
Yep. That happens quite often.
I'm a late night guy. Or early morning, you could say. So once again, we have 10 codes for Agricola. If you want to tweet us questions at BoardGameGeek. You can also post on the BoardGameGeek thread. You can also post in the YouTube page. Just scroll down to where the comments are and click right in the Share Your Thoughts button. And do those update dynamically? I don't remember.
I don't, but I'm refreshing the page.
You're refreshing? Okay.
Pretty regularly. Yeah, so this is an interesting set.
Have to give us a question.
Tyler says, hello, guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? That's so I'm really looking forward to playing the guys at, oh gosh, I think it was Reverb, the PR company, but was able to get a code for Divinity, which I'm excited to check out maybe this weekend.
You still haven't played it?
Okay, you know what?
You've been talking for like 2 weeks about this game.
I know, I've been moving for quite a while.
Oh, the RPG?
The RPG, yeah, Divinity Original
it's
Sin.
fantastic. So while my iPad has been off, I've been playing some PC games on the side a little bit here and there.
Nice.
Mostly, I played the Hearthstone thing. I almost beat all levels of it.
The newest one?
I've not tried week 2 yet. Is week 2 out yet?
Week 2 came out, and it's easier than week 1. So okay. I had no problem with week 2, but
the last boss on week 1 is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
2 unsummons per turn.
And the
it's hard.
The heroic last boss in this week is pretty insane. It starts with 100 hit points, and
oh wow.
And
I really like it though. I put a lot of time into it. Actually, I was surprised. It definitely hooked me back into Hearthstone.
All right, so how do I play this energize mechanic? I'm not.
I haven't been able to figure it out either, so I'm gonna.
My guess is that you. Sorry, I'm pretty new to this set, but I think that now that I'm remembering, you think you have to like have the energy and then also be able to use the card, and so you get that bonus effect if you can energize it.
Right.
Yeah,
Which is like the Twisted Tyrant there has a power that we could use then with energy, that bottom half. Okay, gotcha.
You can draw 3 cards. So yeah, I tried the first one and lost, but I was a little distracted. The first of the play quarter, so the guy that kind of makes zombies each time one of your creatures dies, he gets a zombie. 1/1. I just got overwhelmed and was top decking with no creatures. So.
All right, I got a question.
Okay.
What other deck building game would you guys like to see? Sorry, totally messed that up. What other deck building game would you guys see? I'm assuming like to see be made into an app.
Is Mage Knight considered a deck builder? I mean, there's deck building in it, but or do they want like a pure deck builder?
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
It would be.
It would be.
I don't think I can ever get that game to the table, but it's like I want to try this. I don't like setting up board game solo play, but that would be really neat.
Yeah, that could be really cool. Especially that spellbook mechanic.
I really like Legendary.
I've actually never played that one either.
That's not.
What about the Pathfinder game? Is that just too complicated? I haven't tried it.
Pathfinder is not a deck builder, but that it would not be. I don't think would be complicated to do into an app.
No,
Oh,
no,
it's not a deck
All
building?
you do in Pathfinder is turn over a card and roll dice.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's it. There's no. I mean,
You had
it's a minor
some
bit of
stuff,
deck
but very
building.
bad. Yeah. I did
Okay.
it in. I mean, I made it in Cardboard, and it's easy enough that you can do it in Cardboard, which is pretty basic. So yeah,
Oh,
there's not a
card.
lot to it.
I would love to see. I know we're getting off the strictly deck building games, but I'd love to see Netrunner or yeah.
Ooh,
I was
yeah.
gonna say Lord of the Rings, but that's a licensing nightmare. But definitely Netrunner, I think. Could.
Didn't they do an online version of Lord of the Rings, like card game? I feel like I remember that.
The cooperative one?
Oh, the cooperative? No, not the cooperative one. But yes, the cooperative. Yeah, there are so many games that would be ripe for putting into an app.
I mean, I'd love to see Dominion completed successfully.
An app, yeah.
But that's kind of a sore subject.
Sore
so.
subject for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I mean, I really like Thunderstone,
Oh yeah,
and that's fun.
and there is sort of an app for that, but
There, yeah,
An
but
official one though. Oh, it's for Facebook, right? Like you can. put it
yeah,
on
it's like
Facebook.
it's a social app. Yeah.
Yeah, not the
Yeah.
same.
yeah,
Have you
I
guys
was-
tried Machi Koro yet? Or it's probably. I
No.
don't know if it's quite out yet. That would be a pretty good app, I think.
I haven't tried it.
Sort of
either.
deck building. You're building. It's
There,
more tableau
there's
building. Really.
there's a Machikoro app though, but it's only in Japanese, isn't it?
Oh,
I thought
really?
there was one.
Yeah,
out
there is
there.
one.
The game's
Current-
not very difficult. It would probably be pretty easy to.
to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it's not. You roll the dice, and the dice do what the cards say. I mean, it's. You just need to know the cards one time, and you're done.
I never did it as a kid, but I always wanted to buy a Japanese game and try to figure it out and all that. But like figure out what button you need to press for attack and all that.
Oh, you mean like a RPG?
Like an import, yeah, or something.
We did a little bit of that with the PlayStation 1. Like, we had chip modded ours.
Okay.
Me and my roommates, we chip modded it, so we had like some access to imported games, right? It's not that
cards
fun.
we have
It's hard to figure out stuff. Especially, like, there were so many graphic novels, I guess. I don't know what they call them in Japan, but it's just reading. And you push a button, and then maybe a choice at the end. I can't remember if there was a choice or not. This weird graphic novel anime
Like
thing.
where you date pigeons and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean it's really wacky. Like we had to basically try to figure out what was happening just from the picture. It's like but that's a big deal.
This may be the slowest Ascension game I've ever. I'm not blaming
people
anyone.
are screaming at
I
their
know.
computers.
So are you guys trying to get synergy going, or are you just buying like the
No,
best card?
I'm just buying whatever's glowing, whatever's the most expensive card I can get.
I've been trying to get some stuff that works together, I think, but I might be wrong. I kind of switched strategies midway, which is
you got
usually
another
a
question.
problem for Ascension.
Excluding Rise of the Vigil, what is your most played combination of Ascension expansions? This is from Brett. Scott. Username Scott. Oh, sorry, that first question was from Sub T. Sub T. Second question from Scott. It says, excluding Rise of the Vigil, what is your most played combination of Ascension expansion?
So probably for me it would be Return of the Fallen, just because that's the first one that came out, and it was like, hey, we can play Ascension again. There's new stuff to do. So I think I played a ton of that, but I really like Storm of Souls quite a bit, with like the whole Soul Shard mechanic, how you can get like old cards from the old sets specifically just that you can use. It's pretty cool.
I should start a list of users to give codes to, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Since we have a lot this week.
we do have a lot this week. So that's mine. I really like Storm of Souls quite a bit. And I know you guys haven't played as much, so probably.
No.
To know which is. Can you play with all the expansions, or do you have to pick one, or is it?
You can play with everything in the iOS version. Yeah, you
Does it
can
just
just throw
turn
them
into
all
a
together.
crazy
Oh yeah, it's
free for all?
insane. Actually, I would say not the most strategic way to play it because you have really no control of what's going on, but just throwing everything in there and turning the victory point threshold to the maximum,
Right.
I find really enjoyable. So,
Cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give this a go again. Haven't touched it in a while, so. And I do like the game. I mean, I think it was a great board game. I like to play it face to face.
well, the online system, I mean, was just so smooth.
Oh yeah, it's so quick.
So nice.
I have these. What do these do?
Let me check YouTube to make sure.
I got a Twitter question from at the TS Tyson Schellenberg. Is Ascension based on the same principles as Dominion? Should I start with Dominion first if I've never played either?
I think there's kind of, in my opinion at least, there's kind of two diverging paths in deck building. I mean, there's more, but there's like the ones that follow Dominion, like Trains and I guess Thunderstone a bit, but Thunderstone kind of combines both. But Ascension is more, you don't always have control of what you can buy, right? There's this kind of tableau of 6 cards that's changing constantly, whereas Dominion,
Yeah.
you always can buy certain things for that game.
I think I would go with Dominion first. Because the
It's
variety
definitely-
there is way more intense than the base Ascension.
That's true.
Right, you could play that base set like over and over again and get a different game every time.
That's true.
Not saying Ascension has a limited play space, but it's felt to me samey, right? Like a lot of the same.
Yeah.
You're basically buying. Oh no.
Oh no, I got disconnected.
Way to go.
Nah, I'm good. I'm back.
Was it a comeback? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry about that,
it
guys.
just feels samey, right? Because you're basically doing the same thing, beating up the minions and monsters and.
Yeah, and the kind of game you're gonna have, I guess, is based less upon.
Right, like since in
What you
Dominion
chose.
all the cards are available at all times, then you can kind of tailor a strategy. Whereas with Ascension, you kind of have to go with what comes up, right? I mean, if combinations come up, great. If not, oh well. But you can always make a combination work, or try. You can, well, I won't say work, but you can try a combination in Dominion, even if, because all the cards are there.
Right.
Right. Whereas if you try to do a mechanic, I can't remember what those things are called. The constructs or whatever they are in this game.
Yeah,
Sometimes if a construct doesn't come up, you just can't get it.
Yep.
Can't get that combo wrong.
Like
So I would
that's
say Dominion.
I think you're right.
Dominion.
We have a couple questions on YouTube asking, let's see, is this game easy to learn, Ascension? I think it's medium. I don't know. I mean, the rules are pretty straightforward, but you do have text on almost every card that you...
Yeah.
The basics that I think is pretty easy. I mean, the starter stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
This energize mechanic is killing me, but...
I think it's pretty easy to learn the base game. I know when Justin Gary came to BGG Con that first year, he was teaching people like how to play in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah, but I definitely think if you're with someone that like wants to know what every single option is, it could be a slow first game because there will be
if you want to
read
every all the cards. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I find that with any game though, like that has unique cards.
Right.
That first game, especially if you're not familiar with the deck and the cards, reading them all every time. A bit annoying and a bit frustrating. Sometimes for the first game like these kind of games, I just want to play free and loose and just let it go. And then if I like the game, I'll spend more time learning it. Do you guys do, or do you guys want to learn every card? How do you play?
I'm more of a I'm not that into it. I don't study it or anything. I just you know.
But do you study it after the fact, like if you really like it, or do you just kind of whatever?
Yeah, if I really like it, I do. I mean, like for example, like Hearthstone, I'm getting into that but it's got to be something that I'm really into for me to
Sure.
take the time.
Get into the meta game, as they say.
Yeah.
Well, really study the
Yeah.
cards.
Boy,
Like,
I wish I knew what this meant.
that game. I think it's called Is it called Mage Wars?
Yeah.
It's got so many cards, right? Like you could really put. It's a lifestyle game, right? You could study.
Yep.
Tons of stuff about that game and learn all the cards and combinations and everything.
Well, and because you can play any card at any time from
Correct.
your
Yeah.
spell book. I mean, not at any time. I'm sorry, but your entire deck is basically open to you. That definitely has a high level of kind of analysis paralysis at the start. But yeah.
Same Tyler Vormatag asking how long does an average game take?
15 minutes, maybe 15 to
Yeah,
30
the
minutes.
online version is quick, or the iPad version is very quick.
Yeah.
Face to face, I would say 20, 30. Just because of the virtue of like shuffling
and we are going a little, we're being a little more ponderous here, I think.
Right.
I can never get up to 3 energy.
I'm gonna step away here for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good. So I don't know, going the construct route. I don't know if it's the right route, but
I'm just reading these like energized 3. How do you get 3 energy?
I don't know, but that wolf shaman now has 4 energy behind it. So because you just put these energy cards are free, right? So you get to draw a card when you play one. So you potentially, if you get a lot in your deck, you kind of just are constantly drawing energy. I think we should actually, if we have time, try it again without the base set in it and see.
Oh boy, okay.
If we get a little more energy-heavy play. Does that make sense?
Sure. We can see what kind of polarity ensues at that point.
Yeah. I feel like we're just missing that that aspect. So, have you had a chance to play Blood Bowl? That was the big release.
I have not. No. You said you were gonna play it. How was it?
I played it. I've never played the PC version, but yeah, it seems the touch controls seem to work well. The tutorial, I felt like was a little short. I don't know. I felt like I could have used more, if that makes sense. Like, wasn't ready to be released out into the world yet. But
okay.
But I also might be a wimp about stuff like that. But
if you know Blood Bowl, would you know it, or is it an interface problem that you'd have issues with? Or?
Oh, I think a combination of both.
Okay.
So I think I can kill this guy and energize. So I killed him and got to draw 3 cards.
And that's like the game, right?
I
mean, there's only 8 points left in the pool, and I'm down by 8, so.
But there also you get cards from you get points from.
Oh, right. Point from cards.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. See, it's been a long time since I played.
It's all right. All is forgiven.
Good.
Yeah, but I like it. It definitely feels like a port of a PC game. But I'll try to have a review up early next week. My new commuting schedule is giving me a lot of time to write reviews, which is
that's cool.
Great. So there'll be written reviews because that's what I can do on a train instead of
do video on a train. That should be good.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Wacky Molo in the comments says he likes this expansion. It seems like it gives some changes, but not like crazy changes. I think he's right. I mean, it is a new mechanic, but it's not something that's like shaking up entirely our strategies, that's pretty cool. I'm just checking for comments. Is it my turn? Whoops. Okay. Sorry. Play my turn. All right. So we'll drop. Let's see if I can take that last bit of energy.
I am back.
All right.
Are you guys excited for Gen Con?
I am way excited.
I'm very excited, yeah.
Finally finished all our orders to get the booth in preparation.
Oh, nice. So all the electricity and everything's all...
Yep, electricity, internet, power. Sorry, I guess that's the same as electricity. Furniture, laptop shipping out there, the Geek Buzz screen, the projector,
Nice.
We got some freebies to give away.
Oh yeah.
We're going to do some promos. We're actually going to sell some promos there, so I guess I haven't really announced that yet, but we're going to bring like the best of the store
Cool.
to sell. Hey,
Cool.
70 to 65.
Yep.
Pretty
that's
close.
So should we try one without the base cards?
Yeah, that should be exciting.
Energy crazy. Uh,
It could be more reading.
yeah. Nice.
Are there
Nice.
any games you guys are really looking forward to checking out?
I haven't been over the list too much, but Dave, I don't know if you have.
Well, I mean, I want to try the Crossroads one from.
Oh yeah.
Play deck.
Was it Plaid Hat? Yeah.
Plaid Hat.
Or Plaid Hat, yeah. Sorry.
Dead of Winter.
That one looks pretty awesome. But then I'm a D&D guy too, so I'm excited just to get my hands on the new D&D Player's Handbook and stuff like that. So.
Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that Dead of Winter. I pre-ordered that thing.
I can't remember if I did. Yeah.
Oh, did I mention I've been playing the I got sent a copy of the starter set for Dungeons and Dragons.
The base set?
Yeah, I've played it a couple times. It's actually pretty cool. I might have mentioned it last time. I don't remember, but yeah. Oh, Dave, do you want to accept the game? Sorry, you have to probably go into your game list.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, whoops! I just accepted a different invite. Yeah, sorry. It's pretty fun. Like the biggest new mechanic is there's this advantage mechanic. I don't know if you guys have played the beta or whatever, but
Yeah.
you can roll two 20-sided dice. If you have advantage, you get to keep the higher one. If you have a disadvantage, you roll two 20-sided dice and you take the lower of the two.
Huh. Okay.
Which is
It should help a DM without having to keep adding. Okay, add +2, +2, +2, and.
right.
I think I might have mentioned this, but I just finished a 5-week 13th age campaign.
Oh wow.
6 weeks.
Wow.
6 weeks. One night a week, basically, for 6 weeks.
Nice.
That system is really nice. I like it. It's very D&D like, and it's very 4th edition like, but it has a lot of neat things in it. They tie you to the world pretty nicely with the aspects. They have these 13 gods or whatever, or 13 aspects that influence the world.
Okay.
And then you get an affinity towards them or a negative, it could be negative or positive, and it kind of ties the story if the DM is willing to put in that time to custom make the story to you and your affinity towards that aspect.
So parts could be harder or parts could be easier.
Well, like it more like ties the story into your relationship with that aspect.
Okay.
So in my story, I had an affinity towards the Diabolist, which is like the devil worshiper kind of thing. The demon worshippers. But it was a conflicted affinity, right? Like I was born of blood, right? And I was a demonist, but I didn't really enjoy it, right? So I kind of didn't have real control over when that power came out. Like I tied it to my character. I played the sorcerer, and I had an ability which let me really like blaze it up with the spells, and but you could hurt yourself doing so.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
And so that would trigger off somewhat out of my control. Usually it came in handy because it was a very powerful ability. But yeah, it was a neat experience. And we used the Fate character creation system, which I don't know if you guys know that.
No.
Where you create these relationships with the other players, and they could be positive or negative, and you can be compelled into using some of those relationships. That didn't come into play as much this game, but I could see how if you really focused on that, you could make it your backstory a lot more creative and rich with the other characters.
So we do have a question on on the iOS Board Games Twitter. Luis Gustavo is asking, is the number of energy shards adjusted when mixing with a base set? I actually do not know that. That's one of the things about playing digital games is that you don't have to worry about those rules, so you don't always know them. I've noticed that when I will sit down at the tabletop, I'll be like,
How does this work?
okay, yeah, like I know this game is played, but like I can't remember exactly how many cards we get to start because it just gives me that many cards. So I'll look it up and try to figure it out. But I'm guessing probably not, because at least I felt like it was pretty light last game. But I'll look it up to make sure.
What was the name of that user on Twitter?
Luis, oh, it's at LGM Horace.
LGM Horace?
Horace, yep.
Okay, all one word?
Yep.
Cool. I got another question on the YouTube. Aldi, did you make any feature updates from the marketplace forum, or lock it down and make it solid? I have made an upgrade. Okay, so so for me to get this thing done within 1 month, I wanted to like do as little new innovation as possible,
Right.
and just strictly focus on the features that already worked. So that was done like last week. This week has been adding some new features, and so a lot of people gave some suggestions in the thread when I posted up the preview. One of the features was adding the version information into an item. So on Board Game Geek, that was a pretty recent addition. Of course, probably I say recent, probably it's been around for years, but time becomes very like nebulous when talking with Board Game Geek. But anyway, so you can add a version now when you list an item. So if you're selling, let's say, Acquire from 1965, wooden version, people know why you're listing it at $250 because it's it's one of those collector versions. So instead of it just saying Acquire $250 and then you have to explain what it is, you can link it to the version that we've got listed on Board Game Geek. So that's a new feature.
That's pretty cool.
I've been going through and kind of trying to make the process more smooth. I don't know if you would call them features, but like when you send your shipping information to a user, a buyer, you can put in your tracking code. Previously, you had to send that in a geek mail or email separately.
Right.
So a couple things to smooth it through. So yeah, I mean, and I've got a whole list of things that I want to add, and just we're going to iterate on this for a little bit and try to make it really user friendly and real nice. I should also say that it's very integrated now into RPG Geek and Video Game Geek, so you can sell those items as well.
Oh, cool.
Previously, it was a little hard to do it. So yeah, I'm excited. It's a exciting time. And once we've gotten past that database rewrite, now it's kind of getting back to the fun stuff of putting in new features and upgrading old stuff that's really been in dire need of it.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like there's always something to do in life, but and Board Game Geek. Robert on Board Game Geek is asking when the Dice Masters app is coming out. I'm gonna say the 5th of never. Yeah.
Never.
Licensing is a huge deal. I mean, and but his serious question is, what faction do you like to focus on for Ascension? What about just for the base game? With the base game, I feel like there's certain pairings that work pretty well together. Like you can get, I don't know, I feel like you generally want to pick 2, maybe 3 of the 4. If you're doing all 4,
it's diluted.
Yeah, it's just too diluted. I don't know. I've always liked Lifebound, but I don't know why. I don't have a particular reason. But
I always like the constructs.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called, constructs?
Yeah.
Yep. It seems like a pretty safe
Hey, you got a lot of
strategy
cards.
too.
What is going on here?
That's a lot of cards.
Can track it.
Oh, sorry. That was R. Martin C, I believe. All one word.
R. Martin C. So I think we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 questions recorded from users. Hopefully I got everybody. So we've got a few more codes to give away. Of course, you can ask us a question even after we're out of codes. We'll still answer it.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So I watched the Joel, Eddie, Lance Meister, and Rado, Richard Ham YouTube preview of Gen Con. And they took the geek list that Eric Martin worked on, the preview, and went through every single game.
Oh, wow.
It's a 3-hour and 20-minute video.
Yikes.
It's long. But they,
Was it worth it?
Yeah, sure. I think they could have made it better and more tight, probably down to 2 hours if they just did top 20 lists. Like if they each did top 20 lists, they could have done it a little. Like it would have been the games they were the most interested in,
Right.
instead of going through every game. Because I think to know something about every one of those games is impossible. I think maybe the only person that could do that would be Eric Martin, right?
Right.
But like you'd get to a game and like one of them would care and the other two didn't, and so it kind of felt a little. I don't know what the right word is. It wasn't like rushed or anything, but it was like.
Well, just one person's talking and.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would have been better if they just edited it down to a top 20 or something, because they would have had some overlaps, right? There was just a couple times when I felt like, a good 20, 30 minutes would go by without anything interesting to be said about any of the games, right? Because there's so many games listed on that thing.
Right.
Crazy. But anyway,
just surprising that a Undead Viking video would go long, because they're usually so short.
Right.
Whoa. Watch it.
So he was the one that kind of felt like he was rushing through a little bit. And I knew that probably wasn't the case. I mean, I think they just kind of thought it might have been a great idea to go through 200 games in a 3-hour period. Was it 3 hours? Something like that. I think it was 3 hours. But maybe in the end, probably not the best idea to go through every single one.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through the list now to see. I wish I was paying more attention. Moving is basically the worst.
Yeah, it's disruptive.
Forget everything else.
One of the games they breezed through, and I think a lot of people didn't realize this, but the let me see if I can remember the name of it. It was they were making fun of it because it was a anagram of Dixit.
Okay.
Is it? I can't remember the name of it. Let me see. It's a reprint of Himalaya. Himalaya was a great game. I think that a lot of people didn't get a chance to buy. So I think by the virtue of calling it an anagram of Dixit might be a bad idea. I want to tell people, don't listen to the anagram. The anagram is not. It's a great game. It was a Himalaya. It's a program to move game, right? Where you let me get the right name. Give me a second. Find it. Go to the geek list. But I think those guys just saw that it was a Dixit anagram and just skipped over it, thinking it was another Dixit game.
Right.
So I'm kind of trying to give it
its due. Yeah, I think I'm losing this one pretty badly.
That's because you're talking.
Yeah, I'm gonna claim
like every card.
I'm gonna claim a lack of attention. Sure, I'll go with that. Yeah, I'm going through the list alphabetically, but I'm excited for the Trains expansion from AEG, and I've heard interesting things about Seventh Hero.
Seventh what?
Hero, I think it's called.
Seventh Hero. Yeah, I don't know that one.
Like this card deck, the card deck in Seventh Hero consists of 77 cards, with each card representing one of 7 different heroes. I don't know. It seems like the first player to collect 6 of the 7 heroes wins, so it seems kind of like a trick-taking
set collection.
set collection. Oh, and they're publishing Istanbul. That's interesting.
I'm interested in the Witcher game.
Yes.
From
Yeah, that
Ignition.
one looks good.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That should be cool. Let's hope it's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I pretty much like all his games, so not really.
And isn't that one coming out for iPad? Didn't they announce that?
Oh, are they doing
Or did I dream that?
No,
I
it is.
thought we ran a story, that they
It is.
announced it.
And actually, I hopefully we'll know more about that soon. Someone emailed me recently saying they didn't tell me anything. They just said we need to talk soon. So we'll see what happens. Maybe at Gen Con, we'll go talk to them.
Yeah, we're about to post up our schedule. I think Chad is not finalizing it with people, and I'm pretty sure we're fully booked.
Yeah, and Dave and I will be running around doing digital stuff, I think.
Cool, yeah.
Filming stuff. We're really excited.
Anything to look forward to from the digital world?
The guys at Handelabra just put out some stuff for Sentinels of the Multiverse today, a new video, and they're going to have, sounds like they'll have playable demos of it there at Gen Con, so that's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah. I think also Golem Arcana will be there in a big way this year.
That's released now, right? I think you posted up a review.
Yeah, some of the Kickstarter backers are getting, I think, like early versions. So that should be. I don't think my 2 turns in a row did very much, but.
Okay, I found the game. Lords of Xidit. Xidit.
Oh, and so just because it was an anagram of Dixit.
Yeah, they're like, whatever. But it's the reimplementation of Himalaya, which was a fantastic game. It's one of those program movement games where everybody, you simultaneously program your move and resolve. I think I like the theme of this one a little better than Himalaya. So it's more like a fantasy theme.
Himalaya was a
climbing.
Mountain climbing, okay.
Yeah, you were a Sherpa or something. With your yak caravan. You had to collect goods and deliver them. Yeah, you would do. Yeah, okay. 6 moves in advance, trying to second guess what other people will do. It was pretty cool, and it was just real limited in its release. So it was one of those Tilsit games. You guys remember that? You know that publisher, Tilsit?
No.
It was a little hard to get.
Let's see. I guess I can't energize once I've already put it out. Yeah, I'm losing this pretty badly. That does sound cool. What about Battle of the 5 Armies? Is it an addition to War of the Ring?
No, I'm not a War of the Ring fan, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask about that game. I think it's a standalone.
Okay.
But let me double check because I don't want to spread false information.
Yeah, when I first got onto Board Game Geek, that was kind of the thing. Was World of Tanks deck building game that just went up on my list. Hot diggity. World of Tanks Rush from Asmodee.
Oh. Tanks.
I love World of Tanks. Actually should have a review up tomorrow, maybe if I can get it done tonight. Or sort of a review. It's more of like a why you should play this game, even though you think you shouldn't. Because I do think it looks to be like a game that we wouldn't like, but it actually is quite fun.
I gotta try it.
You should try it.
I know. Gotta stop playing Hearthstone.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, this is a standalone game. Comes with 125 plastic figures. I'm sure that'll.
My wife would love that. She loves when I bring home big boxes of plastic.
Huge, gigantic boxes of figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might like this one better. I just could not get into War of the Ring. I know everybody loves it. Most people love it that play it, but I just could not.
Yeah, when I first came to the site, that was like, it was when the big collector's edition came out.
Yeah, I've got the collector's edition in the BGG library, but I've never played it. Played the regular version.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that thing's fantastic. The collector's version, if you've seen one.
I have only seen pictures. Whoa,
Ooh,
what
that was close. You got all those big monsters at the end. That was I was worried, but.
Well, it's 2 games. Should we see if there's any other questions before we
Sure.
call it a?
Oh, I'm interested in the new Pathfinder game. I still haven't played a lot of the old bout.
I know. I'm in the same boat. Yeah.
I want to get through it. It kind
So
of requires a dedicated group.
Gary Weiss, who I should have invited to this. I'm sorry, Gary. Anyway, by the time I thought of it, it was too late, and I felt like it would be rude to ask you 2 hours before. But he answered about the question about how many energy shards. So 30 energy shards per large set, 20 for a small set. So there's 60 in the deck when you have a base deck plus Rise of Vigil. So that's the one question we couldn't answer.
Do those shards just feel like it speeds it up?
Yeah, they help cycle, I think, through things, and that little energy mechanic gives you a little boost.
Oh yeah, we should have had Gary Weiss on. I guess he would know the answer to this. Someone asked any word from Playdeck on a chat function soon.
Well, we'll have to wait for Gary to answer on the forum, or you can email me, Gary, and I will read it live. But yeah.
Let's see here. What else can we talk about? So, what do you think of Divinity, Brad?
So I have played so far. I created my 2 characters.
Yep.
And then landed on the beach.
Yep.
And then I had to be done. So I will play more this weekend and next week.
You haven't even seen the guy that jumps off the cliff yet?
No. Oh,
it's
spoiler.
It's not a spoiler. It's right at the beginning.
I know.
It's like literally 5 minutes into the game. Did you play the tutorial? Did you go through the tutorial?
I think that might be part of the.
That's part of the beach.
Yeah.
So I'm curious because, Aldi, you were pretty low on it at first about being stuck in the city. Did that turn around pretty quickly?
I've not gotten back to it, but I put about 8 hours into it, and I'm still in the city.
Okay, but you have enjoyed it.
Yeah, okay. It's enjoyable. I was a big fan of the those old style games like Arcanum and those just open-ended RPGs where you're not like being sent down a path of like you must do this, then you must do this, right?
Right.
Kind of Baldur's Gate 2 and Icewind Dale, those kind of games. I'm a fan of it. I'm just not good at it yet. I need to figure it out a little bit more. Are you playing it there?
I'm maybe about 5 more minutes into it than Brad is, so I'm in the tutorial, but I found the first little dungeon in the tutorial, and that's about it. So.
Okay. So yeah, my characters seem to argue a lot. They definitely don't like each other. And I guess that might have been like because what I chose, like one was loyal and one was not, or the other option would it. Do you remember what you guys picked as far as like your loyalty?
I don't, but I'm in the tutorial and I've already gotten like 2 romance points, which kind of freaked me out. I was kind of wondering where I was going with that. Yeah.
Between your 2 characters?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't remember what I picked, but I named them after my wife and I, so I hope that wasn't a mistake.
Mine don't like each other at all. They definitely conflict on a lot of things.
Yeah, I decided to go the middle school route where you name your character after the girl you have a crush on. But,
wow.
No, I don't know. So I'm playing with every expansion against the AI while we chat about things.
Cool. Didn't you guys play Transistor?
I haven't played it yet.
You want to play it though?
I really do. Yeah, I love Bastion and.
Yeah, me too. I started Transistor, but it just didn't grab me enough. Too many games to try, man.
That's the problem. Yeah.
And of course, the Dark Souls 2 DLC just came out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, it seems like there's always.
I think I
Always
told you
playing.
as I beat Dark Souls 2. I'm very proud of myself for that.
Oh wow, I didn't realize there was an actual ending.
Oh, yeah, there's an ending. Well, you can go into New Game Plus, or you stay in the world and just torment people, invade them and try to kill them, or you can play the helpful game and be friendly and help and assist. Which I've been doing a little bit of both.
Oh, I did play something cool last week that I've been meaning to play. You just reminded me by like helping people was Journey. I finally played.
Oh yeah.
I've been wanting to play that for a long time, and I was at a buddy's house who had a PS3, and so I played it in one evening, and it was pretty fun.
What do you think? Is it Game of the Year kind of material for you?
I mean, I feel like when someone talks about a movie so much, like all your friends are talking about it before you get to go see it.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was a little overhyped for me, I guess.
Yeah, me too. I was like, this is pretty cool, and I got a couple different types of people. I think I played it like 3 times through.
Okay.
But that's it. I mean, I'm done. I don't know why you would go through it like 10 times to get your scarf longer or whatever.
Right.
I just don't. It was all right. $5 game in my opinion. $10 or whatever it was.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
So I have a bone to pick on Magic 2015.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I cannot beat the current character that I am facing with the deck that I've got. I've tried it like 20 times. I've tried to tweak the deck to tune it, and I just can't do it. It's not going to happen.
And I guess you can't switch to a different deck.
Nope, you can't switch your basic deck, your archetype. So that is a very big negative.
Oh.
That's a huge negative, which obviously we couldn't we couldn't have anticipated with the small amount of play that we had in the first few hours, right? You have to put in a pretty significant amount of time before you start seeing these problems. Now that being said, I could go buy.
Are you there? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting interrupted by one of my guys here. Give me 1 second.
No worries. Yeah, I mean, you could
that being said, I could go basically buy a bunch of boosters and make another deck, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can actually, yeah, I mean, you could pay the $20 to unlock all the basic cards.
Yeah.
Because the booster cards it's just a small set.
But I feel. Yeah, but I might have to revise my statement on the value that you get out of that game at the beginning for $10. I don't think you do anymore.
That's fair.
Because you used to get like 4 or 5 archetypes back from the previous version.
Right.
Am I right in saying that number?
Well, you would get each person that you would beat, you would get a new kind of archetype deck.
Yeah. So you get the green mob, big mob or whatever, and white weenie, and you get the flame fire deck and black zombies, and maybe like a blue control, right? So you get like 5 archetypes by beating those bosses, but you don't get any decks like that anymore.
Wow, yeah, that's kind of an unforeseen.
Bit frustrating. So I'm kind of like, do I want to put another $20 into it and play? I'm not sure. Which is bad because we were all so positive about it a couple weeks ago.
That's true.
Yeah. I started reading the reviews on the thing, man. It's not got good reviews at all. The good reviews are few and far between. So.
Well, I know 2014 was such a nightmare that I think people went into this one expecting suckage, and I know reading forums, people weren't giving it a fair shake off the start. They're expecting it to suck, so that's always bad. But
But there's 1,374 Steam reviews, and I don't know how to filter on the good ones because I'm not seeing any. I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and it's all thumbs down.
Oh, jeez.
And some of these guys have it tells you how many hours you have on the game when you post a review.
Right.
So some of these guys are 20 hours in.
Wow.
Yeah. Nothing recommended. Oh my goodness.
Well, we can play. We can just play.
We go back to We can go back to 2012, right, which had the Planescape stuff, or the
Yeah.
Planescape,
Plane chase. Yeah.
Plane Chase, yeah, which I really liked.
Yeah, we could do that.
They're crazy.
Could play more Hearthstone.
Yeah, and then Hearthstone eats their lunch, man. I'm afraid to say. Believe me, I'm a big Magic fanboy. And I would look for a lot of I'm trying to look for the positives of this game.
You know, I keep hearing people on podcasts and stuff talk about how they feel that it's a different game than Hearthstone, or sorry, that Hearthstone is a different type of game than Magic, but I just feel like it's a newer game. Because people say, like, it's simpler, it's more direct, but I think that's also because there's only one set of cards, at this
there's
point.
no mana types, and it's just
Right.
a strict mana, both characters on the same mana curve.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I wonder,
so I guess that does make sense.
And that's another big problem with Magic, and you say it's a problem, but it's basically one of its things, like the mana curve, right? Like, that's still a problem. If you don't draw land, you can't win.
You suck, yeah.
And you suck. Yeah, you're just like, okay, I'm in a suck game. I just got to get through it.
Right.
Concede if I don't draw a land after like 4 turns. Boom, done.
Right.
It's just so frustrating when you have Hearthstone, which is always, you're almost always going to get a pretty decent game. I mean, you can still get kind of screwed by the draw, but it's way less likely. For
Right.
sure. I mean,
that is totally true. Sorry, I'm
playing
this massive game against the AI.
So yes.
Yeah.
Do you think Czech Games will have their stuff done?
Oh, for Gen Con?
By Gen Con? Because we've been seeing it now for like several Gen Cons, right?
Yeah, we talked to them last Gen Con, and Dave just met with them in May, was it?
Did they switch developers for Galaxy Trucker as well?
No, so Dave, you can probably answer better than I.
Yeah, no, CG's doing that in-house, and they're still doing it, and yeah, that should be out in September.
Okay.
So they just put a thing up having fans vote for the icon, so they're far enough along that they're picking an icon, which is good. So.
Oh, an icon for the.
Yeah, for the iPad, yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, did Star Realms get released?
No. Not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe next week.
Oh, is it in the Apple queue?
Yeah, well, it's been rejected twice now. So.
Rejected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's due to they have a unique. You can buy it on any platform, and it'll unlock all the platform pay structure. And everyone's assuming that Apple's having a problem with that, yeah. So.
Okay. Huh.
So last I heard,
you guys should play some Divinity. Put some time into it. I think it's good.
I definitely will. It's one of my goals this weekend.
They had Jeff Kanata did a interview with one of the developers.
Yeah, I listened to that. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. He was such a fanboy over the game.
Yeah.
He's like in love. It was a dream interview for him, which is fun.
Yeah. It's fun to hear people really excited about stuff.
Do you get to have more people in your party in this? I mean, how big of a party can you create? NPCs join your group, or what's the?
Yeah, I've got a few NPCs actually.
Okay.
But, yeah, you go to the Hall of. Well, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys.
Okay, all right.
But there's a hub system that's not on the world you're on. It's like in a different dimension.
Mm.
And that's all I'll say. And then there's kind of like you unlock things that give you things there.
Okay.
So
like access and stuff.
There's a place where you can recruit people. Is basically what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
Without giving too much away.
Okay.
But yeah, you get some more characters. Although I think the 2 characters I recruited immediately died in the first big fight. Like they were just dead, like right off the bat. Like, oh man, do I reload or do I just go buy more guys or what? I wasn't sure what to do. So I think that's where I left off. Outside of the town, the fights are way harder. You get into some real tough stuff right outside the gate.
Wow.
And you have to be like really pro on it to survive.
And is it pretty turn-based? I mean, the turn-based it's not like Baldur's Gate, which I
So in the interview, they basically created a real-time system that could be paused. Like that's kind of how they did it. So think Diablo, but on a grid, sort of. But it's not really a grid; it's more fluid. But you still have movement limits and distances and ranges and all that stuff. So the grid is like invisible, but I don't know. When you get into combat, you'll see it is turn-based for sure.
I'm sure I'll be in one soon.
I mean, if you go through the basic dungeon, you'll get into combat.
Okay. I hear the combinations you can do in combat are pretty cool, like laying down oil and then lighting the oil on fire.
There's all kinds of neat stuff that I've yet to scrape the surface of, for sure.
Yeah, I listened to Gamers with Jobs quite a bit, and he said it took them 90 hours to finish the game.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. All right.
Man, do I want to put it? That's like another Dark Souls 2 for me. That's a long time. I've put in 145 hours on Dark Souls 2.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Wow.
But I think a lot of that was me like playing around with there's a section of the game where you can become a minion of the Rat King.
Okay.
So you just sit there, wait for people to trip into your world, and you try to kill them. So I like you can use this resource in the game called Pharaoh Stone, I think it's called, or something like that, and you can unlock traps in the Rat King's domain. So when they would get teleported into my world, I had all the traps turned on. So that being said, I would only give myself like a 50-50 chance of winning.
Wow.
And people in that game really know how to like cheese it and overpower yourself, just make yourself so powerful. And even though I put that many hours into it, I never got to that point where I felt that powerful.
I've never played it, so.
Did you ever play? You didn't ever play any of the other versions of the game? Dark Souls,
I'm not.
Demon Souls or whatever. Brutally hard game.
That's what I heard. So I was like, what?
One mistake and you're dead. And the respawn is slow, and you lose your maximum health as you become more and more hollow. They call it. It's a real pain in the ass. Like until you get a ring in the game, you'd be losing. I'd be running around with half my health. Right. So that's also a penalty. Right. So you don't just get penalized by dying.
Right.
You lose your souls. They get dropped where you die. If you die again before you retrieve your souls, you lose all of them. Souls are common. So you can I've been walking around with like 50,000 souls, which is a pretty significant amount. And something stupid will happen, and I'll die, and then I gotta go run back and get that, and then something stupid will happen on the way, and I'll die again, and I'll just be like, F this, and I throw the and I'm like, okay, I'm done. That would be the time when I'd be done. For the night, I'd be like, okay, I'm done.
Walk away.
A double death resulting in losing like 20 or 30,000 souls would definitely end my night.
Oh man.
Wow, I have 13.
But something addicting about the damn game. I don't know. Plus, it's just so weird. Like, it's not standard horror. It's not standard like fantasy. It's got a lot of weird horror, kind of nightmare-y type stuff, like weird monster designs and just.
Is this first person or?
It's a third-person game.
Oh, it's a third person. Okay, all right.
And it's very tactical combat. Like you have
to put your shield up.
You gotta put your shield up, and if you swing your sword and you whiff, you're wide open to getting hit.
And you probably will
hit simultaneously. Yeah, and then of course you have weapon breakings, and you have so you gotta spend money to go fix your weapons, and
yeah,
it's just a game that hates the player. But people love it.
People, yeah, they really do. It's got a huge following. Yeah. Well, that's.
Oh, man, I'm gonna go play the DLC when I get some free time.
So that's what a game looks
Good
like
job,
when you
Brad.
play with
Did you
every
just-
expansion. Well, actually, I don't have all the
Wonderful.
promos. That was my mistake, but I didn't want to buy them right now because I'd have to show you my iTunes code, and it's not.
Oh, you can buy
Cool.
promos for the game?
There's 4 promo packs, so there's 5 expansions, 6 expansions now. Yeah, there's 5 full expansions and then 4 promo packs, which are generally just one card or multiples of a card. Yeah, I don't know why I don't have those, but I should get those. So yeah, and you can buy everything, I believe, besides the latest one or most of everything for $7. So if you're new to the game, that's definitely the way to go.
You can really, buy into it.
Jump right in. Yeah, which is, much better than buying each one individually.
Gary says, let's make an appointment to talk at Gen Con. He's got a whistling icon, like, woohoo, the...
Ooh, we're talking about new stuff coming. Yes, we will most certainly do that. Dave and I are putting a game plan together this weekend. We're going to take care of everything, so cool.
Well, thanks for showing us, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And we'll be back next week.
Cool.
Yeah, I may or may not be here next week. Lincoln and Nikki from Game Night are coming to town.
Oh,
nice.
Cool.
In prep for they're just going to hang out for a couple days here, and we're going to probably play some games, and he's going to help me install my new desk. So I got one of those drafting tables that raises and lowers.
Oh, nice.
So I can do a standing desk.
Yeah.
Yep, and we'll
And stuff. So
hopefully next week we'll be playing
Star
Realms, maybe.
roll
if not,
50-50.
Yeah, if not, we will probably maybe check out some Blood Bowl or.
Ooh, Blood Bowl.
That would be fun. It's just I'm not sure how well Blood Bowl is going to show, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Depends how late in the connection is. So, cool. Well, thank you guys so much, and we'll be back next week, and I'll have those codes out very soon.
Thanks, Brad.
Cool. Thanks, guys. See you.